flying 180, correct? Well, let's say that the center of our heading indicator is the fix. Okay? Hold on the 160, southeast on the 160, right? Well, let's draw that. So here would be the radial. It's a right-hand turn, so it would look like this, correct? So if my airplane's coming in, I'm coming in right through the parallel zone, okay? So you can actually draw it on the heading indicator and you understand why they're backwards. It's because I'm looking at them from opposite perspectives. I'm the airplane, where's the radial? There's the radial, where's the airplane? They're two opposite questions. Okay, so they are backwards. But when you draw it out like that, you can see it. This I had to use with one student. For some reason, like, none of this worked for him. And so when he drew it out like that on the heading indicator, it worked. Disclaimer though, it only worked for about a week, and then he started getting confused because when they're upside down like that, they're like, wait, right-hand turns? It doesn't really work, okay? So that is an alternate method of how to teach it, is you can just draw the radial out, and it works really well. You know, hold 210 where there's 210 right-hand turns. Hey, I'm coming in from the parallel zone, and all I have to do in that scenario is memorize this. I don't even use that. So in this theory, you would only teach them about how to divide up a map, and then basically they would just draw a map on their heading indicator. Only use that if the student has not gotten it for 2 weeks, because that one will confuse most students. Okay? Questions? Makes sense? Okay, now here is this is a visualization thing, okay? This helps a lot of people. If you can get your students to memorize this up front where they just can look at a map and just do this, it'll solve a lot of problems. If I look at a hole, they're always like, oh, okay, where do I put the line, and I can't remember. You can come up with your own visualization, whatever. I was teaching some kid who all he did was watch cartoons and stuff. So here's my hole. Here's the fix, right? The fix is his neck. See how you got a little small part and a big part? There you go. Mr. Hole. Well, what we're going to do is chop off his head. And you know, you've seen the samurai guys, right? You got to chop down, right? Get some gravity in there. So chop his head off from the fix down. Wow. But he might not be dead, so you better hang him. Okay? Now here's the visualization. That's just something stupid. The visualization is you've got to get those lines out of there. Forget the lines. The lines don't matter. What you've got to visualize is if I'm coming in from the top and behind the hold, if I'm sneaking up on the dude's back, I'm going to make him cry because it's a teardrop. So whenever I come in from behind here, I can just visualize that's always a teardrop. Parallel, you will always cross over the guy's head, poke his eye out, whatever. So anytime you have to cross the head of the hole, it's going to be a parallel. So I can just look at a chart really quick and go, oh, that comes right through the head, that's parallel. Anytime I come through the bottom, it's a direct. So being able to visualize that, okay, I don't care what technique you use, how you describe it, everybody laughs and remembers the samurai sword because it's so stupid. So, whatever works for you. But being able to just visualize that helps them, because then, when you're looking at a chart that's half upside down, and it looks like that, I can very easily just look at that and say, okay, teardrop, parallel, direct. So being able to break that down very easily is where they need to get to. And literally you can do this in like 5 minutes with anybody. You just pull out approach plates, start flipping to the missed approaches. What kind of hold entry is that? Teardrop. How about that one? Parallel. How about that one? Direct. And they just start getting the visualization and the lines go away. It's not about lines anymore. Same thing on your heading indicator is the lines kind of just go away. You just know that if you're up here in that little teardrop area, it's a teardrop. If I'm over here, it's like a parallel. If I think it's close to on the border, just pick one. Okay? You ever flown and you're kind of varying on your heading just a little bit? Oh, wait, it's direct. No, wait, I think it's parallel now because I just turned because of the wind. Just pick one. It's not a big deal. Questions? Okay, teardrop entry. What do I do?
Cross the fix.
Yes! So I cross the fix. And I turn 30 degrees to the top of the magic number. What that means is, here's my heading indicator. Here's my magic number. I'm going to turn 30 degrees to the top on the heading indicator. Very, very, very simple. Some people teach this whole Lars thing. What is it? Left, add, right, subtract, or whatever. Yeah, it just confuses the crap out of them. Turn to the top. End of the story. 30 degrees to the top, count it up. So, the reason we say that, which direction am I going to turn, left or right?
Direction it turns.
It depends on how far over this is. If this is only 20 degrees from the top, I'm going to be making a left-hand turn to my initial heading to start the entry. If it's down here, then I'm going to be making a right-hand turn. If it's all the way at the top, what did we just say? Is a teardrop or parallel preferable?
Teardrop.
Teardrop. So if I'm already on this, I'm on 180, I'm supposed to hold south 180. I'm going to pick a teardrop. Ah, crap, which way do I turn? Well, there's my teardrop zone, and I always turn to the top of the teardrop zone. So if the teardrop zone's over here, to the top is this way, I'm going to come 30 degrees that way. And that's how I'm going to do my hold entry. Okay, so 30 degrees to the top. If it was a left hand, same thing. There, to the top. To the top, to the top, to the top. Any
You
questions?
just turn 30 degrees in the protected side, right?
To the top. You just don't talk protected, don't protected. You turn 30 degrees into the protected area, yes. Which is 30 degrees to the top. Seriously, it sounds stupid when I say some of this stuff, but you would be surprised. If you say that to a student, you will lose them. And they're like, then literally you're just telling them as informational, and they're like, okay, I turned 30 degrees into the protected area. And then you get them in the sim, and they're just like,
Where's the protected area?
you're like, you turn in the wrong direction. Well, I'm turning the protected area. No, you're supposed to turn 30 degrees to the top. But you said the protected area. It goes on and on.
Can we draw that out, with the heading indicator and on a map, how you would actually execute it, the 30 degrees to the top?
So here we go.
This is ridiculous.
All right. So if I had a right hand on this one, 180. We're coming straight in from here, right? 180. So if I turn 30 degrees to the top of 180, that would be a heading of
150.
okay, to the top of the teardrop zone. So that's going to subtract 150. So I turn left, 150. Come back around. Hey, look, it looks like a teardrop.
Oh my god.
What the?
Crocodile.
So turn 30 degrees to the top. Okay? That's the one that confuses everybody, those they say, well, it's already at the top. How do I turn to the top? Well, where's your teardrop zone? To the top of the teardrop zone is the direction in which you're going to go. So that's the only hurdle you have to get over there. Okay? Same thing, time, 1 minute. Twist, same thing. Tail, bottom, magic number. Top, same thing. Turn. Which direction? Right. Turn in the direction of the hold. So this is where, a lot of people just teach it and it's very easy, is that the parallel entry is the only one that I should technically be making my turns opposite. The first two turns of a parallel entry are always going to be opposite. So you can just teach that. When you teach a parallel, just say, remember, your first two turns will always be opposite. The biggest thing is whenever they turn for their inbound course, make sure they look at where their inbound course is. because